G'day, you've got Ben from CPS. So I'm out here in southeast Queensland looking at some equipment for a customer, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to explain why we have battery isolators and starter isolators. We've got a couple of different machines here, so I'll show you what's what. So there is a starter isolator and there is a battery isolator. There's a lot of talk and there's a lot of resistance from people when they say my isolator that I have is under a lockable cover. Why does it not suffice? Battery isolator and starter isolator, if it's fitted, is to be able to lock it in the off position, not the on or off position. If you can lock it in the on position, it doesn't comply, and these are the reasons. The risk that it is specifically mitigating is the risk of unplanned start when people are working on a machine. You stand back here and you look at this machine and you look at the size of it. In the rare scenario of where somebody might be in or around it and they start the machine with somebody in it, that's a big problem. This is a very easy way of getting around this. A lot of people say, well, how do you actually lock it out? Well, you lock it out with a scissor hasp, which is this, and your danger lock, which is this. So I'm going to try and one-handed show you how we fit it. Put your scissor hasp on like that. You put your danger lock through there like that, and then you lock it. That key is yours. There is only one of these keys. You keep that with you and you don't give that key to anybody. And there is no way that this machine can be unlocked and started while you're working on it. When you finish working on it, you take your key, you take the lock off like that, and then that stops anybody from starting it while you're obviously working on it. Turn it on, turn it off before you work on it. So why do we have a starter isolator? Well, 80% of the time a battery isolator is great, except when you need to do testing and adjusting and checking this. In this scenario, you have to have the ignition on, you have to have the key on, so you need to have the machine live, but you can't have the machine start. So in this scenario, exactly the same situation with your danger tag and your scissor hasp, and you lock that on like that. And then that way you can turn the ignition on, you can do all your running checks, but nobody can start the machine. So what if there's more than one person working on a machine? Well, with one of these scissor hasps, we can have up to 6 people lock onto this machine. If I'm working on this machine and the next person comes along and they need to work on it, they just put their red lock on it and then start work. Now, if they're working on it and I'm finished, I'll take my red lock off and they can still work on it and the machine's still isolated. Obviously not on the starter isolator. So if you've got any questions, let us know. Some questions that regularly come up with this is, why can't I just take the key out? Well, you can, but a lot of earth moving equipment has the same key. So someone can take the key out and it's more than likely that somebody like myself or another fitter has the key to that machine, and they're just gonna go, oh, someone's taking the key with them, I'm gonna jump in it and I'm gonna start it. A lot of operators have their own keys. Caterpillar only have one type of key, for example. Well, that's not exactly true, but most of the time, one key fits all. Same with Komatsu's, same with Hitachis. So the idea of taking a key out isn't foolproof enough to mitigate that risk. Now, it's one thing to have a small fleet where you've got a small workshop and control that risk of unplanned start. Again, very specifically, it is the risk of unplanned start versus on a site where you've got a lot of people coming and going. It gets worse when you've got chaos, you know, when you've got machines that are parked up and you're jumping off one machine to the next, or where you've got operators doing pre-starts. You need to lock machines out before you start to work on them. It's just that simple.